RR fans, Hollywood's fans, this is for you right here. What the hell are you doing in Hollywood?
Oh my God!
The undisputed champions of Black Wrestling Podcasting, the Hard R. Woo!
Hard R Wrestling Podcast.
Acknowledge me if you smell
What the Hard R Wrestling Podcast is cooking. And now it's time!
I'm not gonna lie. The tongue, the facial expression, it literally gets me every time.
Put that thing away, D-Lo.
Put that thing away, you nasty mother. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all the ages, we are back, baby. Yeet! We are back, and man, we got so much to talk about, so much happening. And I want to say a special shout out to our friend D-Lo. Three of us, myself, Stay Jealous and Go Fuck Yourself. We all went to high school together, and we have a variety of we have a variety of hijinks that he has to sit through, that he has no idea what the fuck we're talking about because he doesn't know these people. So for that, D-Lo, I want to say to you, buddy.
And
go fuck yourself.
also, D-Lo, you weren't here last week. You know, and we weren't here last week.
I know where you're going.
And we just had a really good time. Just, we got some shit off our, me and Jason and Bunch, we got some shit off our chest on the episode. I don't know if you saw it or not or whatever. We let it be known. And also in the meantime as well, we had ourselves a little party.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you missed out, it, yo.
It's your turn, man.
It's your turn. Come on.
Oh God.
No, ain't no old guy.
Ain't no old guy.
You missed out.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
You ready? Come on. Yeah.
Hey, hey,
I love it. Hey, it was Hollywood Nana last week, baby.
Nana Mania, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's just, I knew once I started saying Jason was not gonna let me down just because you missed out last week. You had to take part in it.
Yeah,
oh,
man. Nana Mania is running wild, man. I love that guy. I love Swerve Strickland, and ever since, because we talked about Prince Nana and his wrestling career, and I don't know if my phone heard you say that, but it's been like feeding me Nana matches from back in the day. So I've been catching up on Nana's wrestling career. Yeah, well, yeah, he actually made it on the PWI, I think. Though he was like number 200, but he was up there. I was like, go Nana,
go Nana.
It's so much to
hold on before
about.
You even get started.
Go ahead.
Shout out to this dude.
I'll handle this, Renee. I have breaking news. Eddie Kingston, I couldn't say this on Sunday because you were so rude. But this Friday on Rampage, there will be a four-way for the #1 contendership for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And guess what, Eddie? You will be there live doing commentary to see who is next in line. We need a champion that smells like Tom Ford, not Burger King in Newport. Friday.
Hey, the way Renee licked her lips so she had to laugh.
I feel like he saw that Nana was getting all this shine. He was like, yo, I gotta step my black manager game up, bro. Like I literally cackled. It was I was actually embarrassed to laugh so hard. Like took me by surprise. I was like, I thought he was going a certain direction with the promo. He was like, not Newport Center. I was like, bro, like you.
Oh my goodness.
wrestling has been
great to
so
have Stokely on TV, man.
Yeah, man, I love that guy. You know who else is good on TV? And talk about the bloodline dying all you want, but my
It's
buddy,
this man right here,
Jey Uso. we're gonna talk about that, but my man Jey Uso was. I don't know if y'all seen it. The press conference. Jey Uso was drunk as fuck.
No,
you mad ignorant.
Shout out for Cody for just rolling with that shit, yo. Because Cody could have been an asshole, but Cody just rolled with that.
He just rolled with it.
He said,
"He's like we both been drinking, but like clearly Jey is a little bit."
He said we may have had a
drive.
Right, that's what I said.
That's Cody's new job is to drive main event Jey Uso around.
He said we may have. He said we may have had a libation or two.
Clearly, Jey had more. Jey was just yeeting and like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
no, that chick had been around since our.
Yo, man, he looked 45, and I'm like, bro, what?
Like, she old, man. She been around since our dads was there.
Yo, that clip is making its rounds around the social medias, man. And I'm just like, yo, what type of ignorant shit is going on here with this dude?
Hey, you know I love ignorant shit. I encourage this. I was a little shocked that they won the belt, but goddamn, did they pull the trigger at the right time? Because
I mean, they had to do something with Cody, right?
What's that?
They had to do something with Cody, right?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't won anything since he got there, other than the fans' admiration. But
yeah, this ain't the story that he was trying to finish. But
it's a challenge.
That story gonna get finished now.
Yeah, it's a novel. It's not a short book.
That story is like the last two Game of Thrones books trying to be written right now about George R.R. Martin. We're gonna be waiting a long time.
We'll be dead by the time that story is. But I mean, he'll get it eventually, even if it's the Seth Rollins title. I don't know. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff happened. I'm going to talk about stuff in the past a little bit. Namely one that I want to have a good time this episode, but one thing that did make me a little upset in wrestling this week was on NXT. Dirty Dom, he's the new Brock Lesnar, I guess. He's spoiling black champions. He defeated Trick Williams, and I mean, he had the belt for what, fucking 3 days? How many days did he have the belt?
About 3 days, yeah.
About 3 days.
Yeah.
Long enough to do a segment with Mello.
Right. Yeah. Right. I don't. I mean, I get it. I'm not too mad.
No, there's nothing to get about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you get it?
How do you get it? There's nothing to get about this.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to have. Actually, it does make less sense because you just took the tag titles off of Finn Balor and Puerto Rican Undertaker. What's his name?
Oh, shit. Damian Priest.
Yeah, him. You took it, so it makes less sense. I know you want to you want to see it seem like
it's not even a main roster championship, so it really don't even count.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let's
go ahead.
Before we go ahead, let's go ahead and talk about I'm not even gonna say the elephant in the room, but the fucking galaxy in the room.
Oh,
WWE and them have claimed so much. And they made references of AEW. Oh, a second-rate company. We're not worried about a second-rate company. We're not worried about a second-rate company. I'll have my father-in-law buy that pissant company you work for and all that stuff like that. Oh, I do this. And because of the Major League Baseball playoffs, this second-rate company is coming has to do Tuesday night because they're on the same channel as TBS or whatever, TBS TNT or whatnot. So they're just moving to Tuesday night for this, and it's going to be Adam, aka
who?
I used to be
who?
Adam!
Monday does it the best. That was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good.
I can't see you.
It's gonna be Adam. Adam Copeland.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Because Adam Copeland, aka formerly known as Edge, is making his AEW debut. This pissant companies did this, and so what is WWE doing because of this pissant little small company?
Oh God, we got to bring everybody on.
They're bringing everybody, namely some heavy hitters,
bro,
on fucking NXT.
It's WrestleMania night 1.
Yo, they're bringing. My God. Hold on, let me take the hoodie off.
Take your hoodie off.
Oh my God, who are they? You got
John Cena.
Wait a minute. We're gonna work our way up.
Okay, all right.
You got Asuka, who's gonna be up there. The Empress of Tomorrow.
She ain't really. That doesn't really. It doesn't move anything. Like I feel like
it's no point in having Asuka come up there. So you got Asuka coming.
The greatest NXT champion, women's champion they ever had.
Right. Asuka coming. What Dirty Dom is gonna be back up there again, correct? You, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have
probably,
and then and you so pressed about it, you making your main event be a match that we see like 3 times already on NXT.
Yep. I was gonna say that too.
Which is Carmelo Hayes,
your 2 biggest
versus
names.
Braun Breaker, right? Your 2 biggest names
for no reason.
And then on top, for no reason.
Oh, there's a reason.
Well, we know the reason. Then on top of that, to make things even juicier or whatnot, you're like, oh, John Cena, who sees a lot in Carmelo Hayes. They've never had a goddamn interaction. It's going to be
maybe
in
he
his
carried his luggage, or
it's going to be in his corner.
You can definitely
go ahead. Talk short joke.
You can definitely see a lot of Carmelo Hayes because he's just yay high. But yeah, go ahead. My fault.
You
gotta have one per episode.
And then what do we have? He's taking on Braun Breaker.
He's taller than Grisham, ain't he? He's taller than Grisham, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
let D'Lo have his short hate for
Carmelo. Grisham need a leash.
Who's taller than Carmelo? Who's Carmelo taller?
No. Carmelo's taller than Grisham.
Yeah, Carmelo's taller than Grisham.
What's
that little
dude?
pit bull need a leash.
Okay. I was like,
little dude that's literally like 5'2".
I think he might be taller than JD, maybe.
And so
not JD's head, not his head.
Definitely not his head.
And then on top of that, you have Paul Heyman saying, "Oh man, my tribal chief says that he sees a lot." So Braun Breaker's Samoan now. He's part of the bloodline. This is what we fucking doing.
He is very brown. I mean,
he's going to allow. I don't know. He's going to allow Paul Heyman to be in the corner of Braun. What the fuck are we doing here, yo? Like, but you're scared. But we're not worried about that yet.
That pissant company.
Dude.
You lost the Wednesday Night Wars already. You had to move NXT to Tuesday, and now you're pissed off about this.
Hold on, and then they keep
go fuck yourself. You have the floor.
They keep mentioning Jade Cargill, showing her every 15 minutes.
My fault. Excuse me. Cody is going to also be on NXT to make a special announcement. We know what the announcement is going to be. Cody. Only thing Cody has ever done with NXT was when he was there, his first run in WWE, when him and Goldust basically gave the Dusty Cup trophy to the winner of the tournament. That's the only thing they have with it. And we're doing this because y'all are horrified because AEW is starting to pick up some steam, some real steam, and one of y'all major one of y'all major players, granted, he may be 50 years old or 52 or whatever, but he still can wrestle and he still looks good. It's going to debut on the Pissant Company show, and you're nervous about that.
But you know,
make sense to me.
It's WWE. One of the W's is we can't make it make sense. That's what one of the W's actually stands for. But look, speaking of Adam, I am like, with the whole WWE run, how it came to the end, I was, just like, all right, yeah, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I got a renewed interest in him being in AEW just because of all these first time matches that he can have. And I'm like, yo, this dude can still go in the ring. And think about when he was in his prime, all them great matches he had with Kurt Angle and Chris Brown, I'm gonna say, certain people's name, but like he had damn near 5-star matches with these people in his prime. And he's not in his prime anymore, but he could still give you a solid 4-star match. And you put him against some of these guys that he hasn't faced before, and they can carry the match. Yo,
think about this. Think about this. The night he debuted, that was the first time ever you had in the ring Sting and Edge in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we know Sting is not the Sting that we grew up watching, or hell, he's not even the Sting from TNA, TNA, or his last match in WWE, his last 2 matches in WWE. We know that. But the fact that you had Sting and Edge in the ring at the same time is a big deal. And you have, like you said, of these other matches that can be made. But WWE is so horrified about this happening. They are really pulling out the big, like NXT is supposed to be your developmental group. They can say, it's the third brand.
They can't make
all
that
they
argument
want.
anymore, can they? Though it's not developmental. It's
it's not. When you send your superstars there, and then
it's not developmental
they
anymore.
come to the main roster, they don't make it. They send them back down there. Like,
dude, look at you had
Baron
Dolph
Corbin,
Ziggler become a world champion. Their world champion. What's her name? Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble and chose to go against Rhea Ripley, who was the NXT champion.
Becky Lynch is the current champion.
You got Dirty Dom, who possibly should have started out in NXT right now, as your current North American two-time North American champion, by the way, while being on the main roster. Make it make sense. I can't.
Well, to add some of the stupidity of it, somewhat to WWE's credit, they didn't really have to do all this. AEW this week, Dynamite got 800K, and NXT got 857.
You know what?
Not front loading their show.
But they got 857. So here's the thing with them is here's the thing with, so it's kind of like, I'm a little salty because it's kind of pissing me off that apparently Nick Khan, that he's like the COO or CFO or something for WWE. So he's basically saying the reason why they're doing all this,
he always talks out his ass.
They want to increase the TV rights. They want to make NXT more valuable. So that's why Becky Lynch is on the show and all these people. So I'm like, okay, I get that. But then now on Tuesday, you're basically giving away WrestleMania Night 1 because your competition has to move a day back because they're being
one time, right?
Right.
They're beyond their control.
Right. They're being preempted by baseball. So like I'm looking online like, oh, AEW in the mud, NXT beat Dynamite in the ratings. Becky fucking Lynch was on the show. The previous week's show did 650,000 viewers. Like people like that, people like Becky swing audiences by 200, 300, 400,000 viewers. So of course a show with Becky Lynch is gonna
even having a Judgment Day up there too swings people because they're involved in the main roster storyline. So
NXT is probably going to do. I'm sure they're going to beat Dynamite, and they're probably going to do. They probably might even beat Raw's ratings at this point.
And then
next week.
And then word is Undertaker is even showing up on NXT.
I heard he's going to be in the back. Yeah, he probably will show up.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that somewhere Dynamite is getting Beyonce to sing the national anthem, so they might be all right.
Taylor Swift is going to challenge.
Because it's like I saw one of the latest like promo for, and it ends with the Undertaker bell tones. It's like,
oh my god,
what are we doing, yo? What are we doing?
Like the thing about it is, I just don't have no respect for how they talk out their ass, and then Like, you can show respect to the other company, and just keep it moving. You ain't got to keep trying to down talk them and keep talking a whole bunch of shit. But then you turn around and everything you do is to try to outshine them. And you weren't doing all this before this company was doing really good. Like, we was getting shit on top of shit on top of shit. And now y'all doing everything y'all can, now that y'all see them doing great, to try to give us more and more. And it still ain't good. Like, it's really not. You're just giving us like more big names and stuff like that, but you're not giving us a better product.
Because Hollywood, I would say, to your point, I think Wembley scared the fuck out of WWE.
That's what it was. And I was about to say that. I was about to say that.
Game. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to say that. It's like, okay, and then you had when the AEW announced, hey, we're going to do a show in London in Wembley Stadium, you had the WWE fanboys, we know a bunch of them, that were like, how is this going to happen? They're not going to sell. None of them going to go because they don't know these people and this and that. What ended up happening? They fucking basically sold 80% of the tickets at day one of it, and then by the time it was done, they basically had a sellout at that stage. Oh, what did WWE whole asses do? They damn went, we're gonna have Money in the Bank there, and then had John Cena come out of nowhere and be like, hey, don't you guys want WrestleMania here in London? Don't you? Please. Don't you?
Please say yes.
WWE has never begged a fan base before about, don't you want to have WrestleMania here? Don't you want to, like, they even did it this past weekend with Pat McAfee saying, hey, don't you want WrestleMania here in Indianapolis?
I was like, damn, are they gonna have WrestleMania everywhere when he came out there and did that bullshit? I'm like, what's going on, man?
They're starting to hold him too.
That shit gonna be a Harbor Park next watching Dolphins.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year.
Tickets.
I wouldn't be surprised if next year WWE decides to fuck around and do like a show, because they're going back to Wembley next year. So I wouldn't be surprised if WWE decides to do something there at the same time to cut away from their ticket sales. Watch. Do not be surprised if they do that.
And you know what show they might do? Summer fucking Slam.
They might push it back. They might push it back to late August.
But they don't care about the second-rate company. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not making.
No one believes that anymore.
No one can. I just hate the discourse that's going on, because I follow Twitter and stuff like that and it's just like, I just hate the discourse that this is okay for WWE to do, to just stack this show just to beat your competition for 1 week, because I feel like that the optics of it for AEW is not good. Like, they're struggling right now, et cetera, et cetera. I feel like they're struggling a little bit because it seems like their shows, they're only getting like a couple thousand people at their Dynamite shows, apparently. Like, they're struggling with attendance. The storylines aren't, I don't know, they're not that great. I mean, it's like they even though they sold out Wembley Stadium, I do feel like they're struggling a little bit.
We ain't gonna talk about storylines when we get the crap storylines that we get in WWE.
But the thing is, the optics of it is that WWE has all this momentum. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
When it doesn't really exist. Okay,
it
doesn't exist.
It's the perception.
Perception is reality. Vince McMahon always says that. I mean, the perception. I will say with one thing with AEW, this is the only thing this week, because I think they executed everything excellently. I don't know if it wasn't my TV, because other people said it. Like, the AEW sound.
Oh yeah,
horrible in the beginning. What was that?
Yeah, I think it was a network thing. That was
the network thing.
Okay,
so they had to run that
Adam Cole
and Roderick Strong.
They had to run it back,
twice, because the first time they ran, the sound was like whatever. It was like, I'm gonna tell you what it basically sounded like. It sounded like, me working the business like that. It was a video package. It sounded like they put the video package in, and it sounded like that it was only coming out of one channel, and it was coming out of like one channel, and that one channel was down low, and it wasn't even really picking up the sound. And then when it came back, is like they fixed whatever problems they had coming out that audio board, and it sounded normal. Because I thought I was fucking high. I don't even smoke, and I thought I was high as hell. Like, hold the hell on, did they just play horrible. This? Play this again? They do have a few production on the background production side issues that come up. For my taste, me being in the business, a little bit too often. And I can say that's the one thing WWE doesn't do. The only thing production wise WWE does that fucking irks me to the high heavens is when there's the camera angles, and then when like there's like a big fight that happens with someone and they jump cameras. Like,
God!
I can't watch
it. I turn the channel.
3 hours. Yeah, my head starts to hurt because it's like
it's like seizure inducing or whatever.
Yeah,
and that's on Kevin Dunn ass.
What's pissing me off about them too is that I feel like the whole Thunderdome era, I feel like that is the worst thing to ever happen, because now I can't even tell if someone's actually being booed or not, because as soon as Dom starts talking, it's like they turn something on in the back, and it's like you don't have 15,000 people all in together sounding the same
every single time. Yeah.
Right. Like that.
It happens. I think it does happen, but not every single
time.
Not
like
that.
But and then too, not as loud, because I'm a person too where I look in the crowd and you see some booing, but you see a lot of people just not booing. They're sitting there, mouth are just like that, and it's just like I'm like, no, it can't be that loud. It's crazy because it's like
because it's to a point now. It's like we don't give a fuck, like for real.
Yeah, like I feel like Dom. I feel like Dom is one of the top 3 heels right now in the wrestling business. To me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, the top 3 heels in the wrestling business right now is Dirty Dom, damn Christian, and Don Callis.
Absolutely, I agree.
Those 3 right there are the top heels, and they get the most heat in the business right now. But WWE is really trying to spike up the Dirty Dom thing. Not saying
you don't have to do that. People hate him.
Not saying that people aren't booing him like that.
Out the building.
But you can tell the sound it's been it's some ambient sound that's been pumped. That's been pumped in there.
Well, it doesn't help that you see the people in like the first 10 rows. You only have like a handful of people doing this, and it's like, okay, so where's the noise coming from? Like,
the nosebleeds, the haters that are broke. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
And we all know
it doesn't make any sense.
And with us going to shows, we all know that there's a good 5 sections where the camera shot that we see, there's nobody fucking sitting there in that area. That's where the camera production wise is there across. You know what I'm saying, for the thing. But yeah, man. I mean, but for like I said, WWE to keep trying to downplay. You know what I'm saying? AEW. We ain't worried about AEW. We ain't worried about this and shit. Y'all show are doing a whole lot.
Well, let's talk about AEW, because other than the sound issues, I thought they had far superior stuff going on. I know Bunch and maybe some of you others. I'm a big fan of Timeless Toni Storm. Yeah, I just think everything about that. What?
I'm a fan of her ring gear. She got her whole ass is hanging out.
Them things.
I'm a fan of her. Damn, basically, biting the other women's asses on air live.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there was a whole lot of ass.
She did it to Kira Hogan. I said, Kira Hogan might actually like. Kira Hogan actually might like that because we've said,
and we've seen how she looked without her makeup. So yeah.
Oh God!
Y'all remember that? Hey D-Lo, remember when I told y'all that shit? Y'all was like, "What you talking about?" I said, "Don't hear that."
Them braids started back here, yo. Like what the fuck, yo?
Whatever, y'all would still hit it regardless of what she had on.
She be have to face the wall, not me though.
Right. Yo, that's the true meaning of face now, ass up.
Ass up. Assume the position.
Because Bunch, your face when I showed that video, you said, "Holy shit!" Like,
you know what I wanted to tell you?
What was that?
Oh God.
She's a sexy red of the wrestling industry. Just a roach.
No, but
Sexy
hey,
roach
look,
is ugly.
and it's crazy.
Sexy
how she
red.
got
I
the
said sexy.
lipstick, like,
Sexy red is.
look, she got the lipstick like the Joker. Like it's kind of like smeared over.
Oh
like,
yeah, Tony.
Yeah,
She's like, now for a titty chop.
Yeah,
We'll be right back with a word from our important sponsors.
She said, I said, what the fuck did she just say?
I had my kids in the room. They was like, Dad. I was like,
I'm the type of person where I hear something, I'm like, I beg your fucking pardon. What the fuck did she just say? Titty chat and this. And
yeah,
now
I say
from our sponsors.
Toni Storm is, I mean, she's the MVP of that entire women's division. Mercedes gets there, but she's the total package right now. She looks great, great character, like everything about Toni Storm. I'm like, give her all the belts, take it off of old girl.
Yeah, look at AEW's characters they got now. Like they got Swerve, they got Christian, they got Tony, they got Adam. Like
say it Monday.
Adam!
There you go.
I can't see you, Adam.
I can't see. Open your eyes, Roddy. You still got. Look,
wait,
Samoa Joe. You know, Samoa Joe's still great. MJF,
he's still great.
Like you got all these great characters, man, and that you can connect
MJF
to in a way. Man. I just said MJF, but you got so many great characters you connect with, and I'm looking at that shit, and I'm just like, damn. I'm looking at WWE, and it's just like it ain't, but like maybe like a couple of people that I really want to watch, and then I actually watched SmackDown today, you know, and I was like, not Jimmy Uso in the fucking main event again. I said, this is some bullshit right here. I'm glad I don't watch the shit live no more because I'd be so fucking pissed off, man. And this motherfucker came to the pay-per-view last night dressed like he was about to go get some ass. I was like, what the fuck kind of ring gear is this?
I'm sorry, Jay.
So I got a question.
Both Usos are hilarious. They just make me laugh now. I'm entertained by them.
Speaking of AEW, and you weren't here for this last week either, D-Lo. I spoke on you know, Swerve and how I changed my opinion on Swerve and everything like that.
Ain't God good, D-Lo?
Won't he do it? Yes, he will.
He saw the light on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. I just said that I get it. I said I get it. Calm down. However, what's about to happen? They about to fucking have this motherfucker lose to Christian for the team.
No,
maybe not.
He's gonna lose to Danielson. He ain't gonna beat Bryan Danielson.
Right. My fault. Yeah, he's gonna lose to Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
Like that's one
big.
thing where it's just like
kind of big because Daniel Bryan loses to everybody. Like we know he's the best wrestler.
What he's trying to say is that with that big win from Hangman, it should build into something. It shouldn't it shouldn't go straight into a loss. You know what I'm saying? He should have been number one. He should have been number one contender to at least get a title match. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem with AEW. Like this, I feel like this is just a match to put on television because they're going up against NXT. But like Christian's one of the top 3 heels, we all agree in the business. So he's not going to lose the belt. Bryan Danielson's probably not going to lose. If it was a number 1 contenders match for MJF's title, but he's already facing Jay White, so it kind of, that match wouldn't have made sense anyway. So, so it really doesn't make sense to book this match in the first place, especially because Swerve is hot right now. I feel like, see, this is the difference, I think, with WWE and AEW sometimes. Where AEW, someone gets hot, they have a nice pay-per-view match, and then after that, they kind of just disappear. Like, with WWE, if they're really high on someone, if they're really high on someone, they push them to the moon. Like Swerve should not be losing right now.
Well, they push certain people to the moon. They pick
they push certain people because they push people when they ain't got a choice. When they ain't got a choice, when the crowd is just like, yo, this is what we want. You got to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because look, they were dragging their feet on LA Knight. Like it's like now they giving him a push.
Top merchandise seller for 3 months in a row.
Yeah, but
beating everybody.
Yeah, it's like
I want to see where he is 6 months from now. I want to see where that dude is 6 months from now because I feel like they are just booking it on
LA
the fly
Knight.
with him. Yeah.
I
don't
have
think there's
reservations
I don't
about
think there's a
him.
long-term plan with him.
Yeah,
I just
my
feel like
issue,
they're just doing this because he's over, not because
my issue with this shit is they didn't inject him into the bloodline shit, and I don't want to see him fight Roman Reigns.
not for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
that
all
match is gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're both kind of the same type of wrestler, like big jack guys. They don't do a lot in the ring. Roman Reigns is more athletic, so it's like I don't know. I wouldn't be looking forward to that, but
yeah,
that's where a majority of it. I mean, did you hear that pop that he got over John Cena? His pop was bigger than John Cena. So I mean, just because I don't like it doesn't mean millions of people like. I'm still on the fence about LA Knight. I didn't want to go to WWE quite yet because speaking of Warlow, he came back. Speaking of,
what about Hobbs?
No, we're gonna get to him. But Warlow came out, did a squash match, and then went out of the crowd, and I popped for him. I was glad to see him.
When did he come back? I'm sorry.
He came back on Dynamite.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
He came back.
Yo,
you probably missed it because they didn't talk about it a lot.
If you went to go pee, you missed it.
You missed it. He jobbed some jabroni out, and he left in the crowd.
Hey, Bunch. I'm 42, man. Yeah, I probably had to go pee. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just like, hey, I ain't mad at you.
Messed up and drunk some water, didn't you? That's what you messed up.
He looks like he's been hanging out with Jimmy at catering because.
Oh shit!
See, I won't. He was so mean. I won't gonna say that, but yeah, he did look a little thicker.
He don't look like Jack Warlow.
Nah, he looked like Scott Norton. He looked like Scott Norton with the.
It does not. You lie.
Look, he just look different anyway because his hair, man. He don't look the same, man.
He got that oval gut. You know how Scott Norton had that oval gut, like
yeah. He still beat you up, but yeah, he definitely has. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he should probably go to WWE, but he's on the shorter side. So AEW, they fumbled the ball with him.
Look, anybody's
taller than Carmelo.
He can battle Carmelo. He'll look like a giant. that could be his first match.
He's gonna look like Andre the Giant next to Carmelo.
Bobby!
Wow.
Yo, man, speaking of them damn Street Profits and Bobby, man, that shit was some bullshit. Yo.
We're gonna get to that. I want to.
But no, let's go to Hobbs now. Hobbs was amazing. Like they unleashed
perfection. I loved it.
Hobbs, and he looked like he was supposed to look. He went out there and he destroyed Jericho and Omega, and they just let him beat the shit out of him.
I hope Chris loses to him because that would be some bullshit. That's another thing. I hope, like we talked about Swerve and Brown Danielson. I hope Chris Jericho does the honors and loses to Hobbs because you can't just have this big turn for Hobbs and then he loses his first match. Like you can't do that.
Because he'll lose momentum.
I think,
and they keep doing that to him specifically.
I think Jericho's going to lose. I think the Jericho now is at a point now where he's like. He's more about helping the business. There's one thing I can say about
he helped Sammy. Sammy. He should have lost.
He has though.
Sammy.
But he should have lost. But it's helped put Sammy over though.
How? He just went from Jericho to Callis, and then he ain't even the big dude he ain't even the big guy in the stable because they talk about connect. Whatever the dude name is.
I'm gonna say this. You
take a shit.
Take a shit.
I will say this.
I don't even care what his name is no more. Because you know what he can do? Huh?
See, I'm gonna tell you why. I think he is bigger than Takeshita because there's a language barrier. Wait a minute.
No. I'm not saying Sammy's not, but they're putting Takeshita as the big guy in there because he's calling him the alpha. He's calling Takeshita the alpha.
They could call him all they want.
No. And then you sprinkle in Ospreay whenever Ospreay's around because Ospreay's affiliated with him. That ain't doing Sammy no favors either, man.
Ospreay about to be gone, man. Everybody knows this. It's written in the damn
cloud.
He's done. He's gone.
Tony Khan better be backing up the Brinks truck for this dude.
He's about to be. He's about.
And
No,
he
I'm
got the
telling you,
money.
I don't
got
even
the
think.
money.
Listen, I'm
Just
gonna tell
pull
y'all
up
right
that
now.
truck.
I don't even think the Brinks truck matter. I think he's going to WWE. His girl is already in NXT. I think he's gone.
Who's this girl
No,
again?
I don't. They're not. They're not together. They're not together. He's with
Blair
someone else.
Davenport. They not together no more.
Nah, apparently not.
Tony got a chance now.
Because I was doing my research.
D-Lo, have you checked your sources?
I've checked my sources. Apparently, they've been broken up for a little bit. So
shit.
Okay, well it's
shit.
God's gospel.
I'm an investigative reporter. I gotta do my
Now we got a chance. Now we got a
diligence.
Your due diligence in that. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I think Jericho is going to do the day.
I hope so. He does seem like he's in that mindset. Because he has a lot of sway in that company. It seems like. Before we go to WWE, I did want to talk about real quick. Big Bill, Ricky Starks. They defeated FTR. I think this is Big Bill's first championship ever.
They won
the tag
I'm
title.
tripping.
He
they
never
won
won a tag title.
So they won the championships.
They won it from FTR. Him and Ricky
wait,
Starks.
he didn't win the belts with Enzo Amore?
No, they broke them up. They broke them up before they won it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not even
as over as they were.
Yeah,
they never won
just reading that today. I was just reading that today. They said
they never won it in NXT.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, because they weren't even
and
over.
they
NXT.
were
they got over
super,
on the main roster.
No, they were super over in NXT.
They were over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, they were super
as
over.
my son
in NXT.
can tell you, they were super over back.
They were super over in NXT. Yeah, they never won the titles over there.
Which, I mean, the same thing with the what's the guys the Crime Time. They never won the belts.
I mean, they don't know how to book black talent, so that's not.
They
surprising.
don't. Yeah, look like AEW
Speaking of
doesn't
black
either.
talent.
What?
Bobby.
But let's go to Bobby. He and the Street Profit Hurt Locker. I don't know. They lost to LWO with Carlito. I mean, it makes sense. Carlito was involved. You don't want him to lose his first match officially in the company. I think he's been with the company on the shelf for what, like fucking 4 months. What was that match they had with Bad Bunny? He came.
Yeah, that was back in May.
God, but they didn't really bring him back until like another 2 months after that.
2 months
when they mount. So he's been on the shelf for about 3 months or so.
That's a long time. I mean, talent like that.
I'm gonna say this. I think the only reason they lost is because they tried to make Carmelo. Lord have mercy. They tried to make Carlito be a secret thing, and he came out as a surprise.
We all knew it was going to be Carlito.
And everybody, right? Listen. But
I suspected he would. But
we knew it was. We knew it was going to be Carlito. Everyone knew it was going to be Carlito. But for people who aren't, because you got to think Carlito ain't been in the company there for about 15 years now, yo. Maybe longer than that. He ain't been in the company, and so you got you basically starting to get like a new generation of fan base with kids and stuff who come in, because the LWO is mainly for kids. Let's just call it what is this? Anything involving Rey Mysterio.
They're the size of kids.
Is Ashley asking about me? Oh, that's my boo. Oh, sorry.
Anything that involves Rey Mysterio is basically for the kids, or what for the kids.
Except when he beating his son's ass. Other than that, even that's for the kids, kind of. Yeah.
And so if they would have came out and then be like, "This is our mystery partner" at the beginning of the match, I can see where the Hurt Profits would have won. The Hurt Profits would have won. But because they didn't, and they had him come out like at the last minute type shit, there won't no way they won't gonna lose that shit. And I mean, it's just it's bad that it's doing that, and it's like you said, they don't know what the fuck they're doing with this whole.
They definitely don't.
It's just a waste. This is why sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time just watching WWE. You set the stable up for 2 months. They're supposed to be heels, and then the first time they actually have a match together, they lose. Like, why are you doing this? Why?
Exactly. What's the point?
If y'all beat Rey Mysterio, it's not like they're going to stop cheering Rey Mysterio. Like, who cares?
And,
like,
he's still the U.S. champ. And he's still the U.S. champ. Well, he shouldn't even be the U.S. champ. That can go to somebody else.
Well, I think this may be the somewhat long term. I think, Ray's going to lose to Bobby. Bobby will be the U.S. champion, and then maybe members of the LWO, turn heel on.
Well, apparently,
you got a program there.
Odyssey Jones is supposed to be joining them group real soon, or whatever.
Is he the?
That's a big motherfucker.
He's like the fake Mark Henry looking dude that was in.
Is that the dude that was hitting people with his boobs in NXT?
No, that nigga got fired. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We were talking about him last week. That's the gay guy.
That's the
That's the gay
guy.
Yeah. He's
the diva, supreme diva.
He was like Viscera and Goldust mixed together or whatever.
Yo, y'all remember when Viscera had that gimmick where he will like get on top of the dude and then just kind of dry hump
on the back of That was on a game. That was on
that was on SmackDown video game.
That was on
like,
SmackDown video game.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. No, Odyssey Jones. He's like he looked like he's like a smaller version of Mark Henry, but he's still a big motherfucker though. For real, he's like a powerhouse type dude.
Well, that's what they need. They Montez Ford, to me, he was trying too hard at the pay-per-view. Every time he turned around, like, dude,
he makes it look fake.
You look goofy as fuck right now.
I just feel like he needs to put that into the math. You know what I'm saying? Like the talent's there, the charisma's there. He just needs somebody to help him focus it.
About these dudes. What did I say about a year ago about the Street Profits? I said these dudes need to be, I understand you want to do the playful. They need to be a little bit more serious. They need to be, you know what I'm saying? They need to be a little bit more serious.
Montez can do that.
He can't.
I don't think he can. I can't take him serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Yeah,
I don't think it's. I don't know if it's in level.
If he want to take it to the next level, he's got to do it. That's the same thing I said about Riddle, y'all. Y'all said, he can be serious. I was like, that's what he needs. He needs to just get away from all the dumb.
We've seen. I'll put it like that. I'll say this. This might not be. We've seen Dawkins be more serious than Montez has.
I'm on board with Dawkins. I'm almost to the point. I see more of an upside with Dawkins.
Here, man. He needs better ring.
Oh, he need.
Take off the
he need to trim his shit up. He need to trim his shit up. We need to talk about it. He got a white wife, but that's okay.
His wrestling attire looks like he's a jobber on WWF Superstars. Like he's the one that
his wrestling attire, his hairline, like the suits work. You know what I'm saying? It puts him in the right direction. He just needs some fine tuning. But as far as
he need that Hollywood makeover.
He need the Hollywood, but help him out, Hollywood. He needs a couple of tweaks. But I'm more on board with him sometimes with Montez because he's funny and the charisma's there, the look is there. He's got everything.
I'm not trying to be funny. He's not even funny, man.
He really ain't. That should be corny as fuck.
It's cornball. Because Jason, goodness well, if we was at Norcom. If a dude was acting like that, we'd be like, "What is this cornball?"
Well, I mean, the rest of the world is not like Norcom. I mean, to some people, that's very entertaining. Now, sometimes he does kind of. I mean, New Day even did this. It kind of goes onto like the cooning side of comedy, but that's a fine line for black entertainers because it's like, I mean, it's kind of double-edged sword. It's like you want to be entertained, you want to be funny, but then you can overdo it. You can overdo it. It's there. The talent is there, but he just
it comes off that way.
The math thing, it comes off as corny. It comes off as like too much. Like he would maybe be a better heel.
Yeah,
he's being a heel. It's not working. I don't know.
Bring my man Trick into the group. Simple as that.
Trick gonna take over that bitch. Like Trick is he's.
Was it you, D-Lo, that said it? That said it last week? That was like, that said, Trick Williams is what WWE thinks Carmelo Hayes is.
Yeah, that's the problem with WWE. It's like I feel like they push the wrong dudes. Yeah. Carmelo is only going to go up to a certain level, A, because of his height and he can't reach a higher tier, and B, because he fits in AEW more than he does WWE, because in AEW he looks normal with all the short other guys. Trick is what, 6'3", 2?
He played in the NFL. He was a wide receiver for the fucking Eagles.
There you go. The motherfucker's a star.
6'4". Like 6'4", probably what, 230,
225,
235,
230, yeah.
somewhere around that. Good
Jack.
look.
Yeah.
He can go in the ring, cut a promo.
Hey, the
Like,
crowd, whoop that trick. The crowd is with him.
Yeah.
like this
Built
dude
in
has
star.
it. This
I
dude
just
has
wanna,
it.
I just want to say one thing that's funny about that. It's there was a reporter, Brian Alvarez, who was one reporter that Christian kind of played in that post show. He was being interviewed about something. That was about Love Trick Williams. He's a great and everything. He was like, I don't understand why the fans are yelling trick, whoop that trick. This is where black people are always needed in a certain space to let people know, you know, saying what it is. Because it's like, I don't understand why people are saying whip that trick. Why, if they like him, why do they want people to whip them? And like he really was saying that. And I was like, and when I saw this interview, I said, oh my God, you've got to be.
You know what somebody should have just said? Look, dude, just go watch Hustle and Flow. That's all they need to say. Just
somebody, dude. No, it was a white dude had to explain it to him. He was like, well, what you got to understand is this, man. He was like, it's based from a movie, Hustling. Have you seen Hustle and Flow? And the guy was like, no, watch Hustle and Flow. That's where it comes, you know, saying, and just watch it. That's where, because I guarantee you, if WWE really wanted, they could have used that song, but they can't because it's a lot of cursing in that song. In that song,
edited versions, though.
Yeah, it's edited version.
Man, the edited version is going to sound like sound like, yeah, we gonna do this.
I mean, that's how radio sounds today. I mean, it probably wouldn't even sound crazy.
That's true. So yeah, but I think he would be a perfect addition to the Hurt Profits or whatever. But yeah, Montez
got to go, yo.
But Montez really has to. He has to work on being more serious, especially if he's going to be in a group like this where they're supposed to be badasses and whip ass. Like the original Hurt Business, you knew these motherfuckers was about to goddamn shit for real. Like that night on Raw when they used to have Raw Underground and they invaded the Raw Underground and just proceeded to whip everybody ass up in there. Yeah. It was believable. It was something that you could see.
I don't
know.
But
But you know what?
Do that.
It's not going to work because Bobby already kicked them out, right? And then they come back. What? Yeah, that 1 week when they lost.
Yeah,
I was confused. I was like, are they out?
And then he came back, and then he was like, you know, like, y'all get out my face, and he's like, show me it. So then they go out and beat up the LWO again. Like, I thought they was gonna beat up, you know, was it Judgment Day went past them or whatever? I thought they was gonna start, you know, fucking them up or whatever. But they was like, all right, we're gonna wait and beat up the little short guys. So they waited till LWO came out there, and then they beat them up some more. And then Bobby's like, yes.
Time out. That goes into what WWE fucked up at. Because I thought something when they did that promo that where they didn't say what their name was, but it was like Bobby was like, I see potential these dudes, and they were leaving the ring. And this is when Kevin Owens and Sammy were still tag team champions, and they kind of stood in their way.
Yeah,
they just stood in their way and looked at it. I was like, all right, we got something. We can work here. And they let them through, but Montez couldn't help himself. He started doing the shoot thing when they walked by, and I was like, "Oh, nigga, no."
Yeah, because he was like, "We like you guys," or whatever, some bullshit or something.
Yeah, he was like, "It's all right, champs," and he started doing the shoot. I was like, "Oh, fucking Montez, what the fuck you doing?"
Yeah, Montez, he's playing wrestler. That's his problem. He's playing wrestler.
Yeah, and then Tez took the pin, right? And you saw Bobby's reaction after Tez got pinned. Bobby was pissed. So the only thing that's going to make sense with this whole Hurt thing is they come out and Bobby brings out another group that jumps the fucking Street Profits that actually makes sense in the Hurt business.
Maybe that's where it's going because I'm like,
because
this shit doesn't make sense.
Hey,
it's not working.
You know what else they could do? Because apparently they've been re-signed. I think they're just waiting. The Authors of Pain. Remember how the fuck they looked when they was with Seth and they had the suits on? Like they look like some real like mafia hitmen type motherfuckers. I could see that shit.
The only thing is, if you put a strong stable with Bobby, right? And he's not obviously going over for the Universal title. So maybe he's going for Seth. So and I don't see him going for Seth's title. So you build Bobby up in his group to be a dominant US champion. Like, what's the end game for Bobby? Like, for Bobby,
I get what you're saying, and that's totally what it would look like. But look how they did Judgment Day. Like, Judgment Day was pushing around for the longest time, and now they pretty much elevated them into the main event picture. So maybe Bobby should, because the crowd is gonna love it. Like, regardless of what they doing, if they bring the right
Bobby,
people
man.
in, they bring the right people in and do it the right way, and they gain enough momentum, then they ain't gonna have a choice but to, just like how they did LA Knight. LA Knight won't in the plans to be in this whole bloodline shit. But when you get so popular and so over, you got to change directions. You know what I'm saying? WWE stubborn as fuck, and they don't never want to do it. But when it's overwhelming to the point where there's no choice, Bobby and the right crew can make that shit and elevate it.
Or they could go in the same vein as Gunther and book it. I mean, because some people say the Intercontinental Championship has more prestige than I keep calling it the Seth belt. Seth's belt.
It is, because he bitched because Roman Reigns wasn't around to defend the title, so they had to give him a title so he can shut the fuck up about it.
Damn, D-Lo. God damn.
Sorry,
coming in fucking hot, baby.
No, I watched his match.
You're the
yesterday.
Christian Cage of this website. I mean, of this group.
I watched his match yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know what's.
Well, guess what, D-Lo? He had a match.
Who, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was terrible. Roman had a match.
It was terrible. He's been feuding with Nakamura for damn near 6 months now. It feels like.
And where has their tribal chief been the last 6 months?
I just
fucking his wife. I don't know.
I feel like this. I see what D-Lo is saying, because there were a lot of people who were.
It won't just Seth. It was everybody.
Wait a minute. What I'm saying is there was a lot of people that were mad that fucking Seth won that fucking match.
That Seth one. Yeah.
They was like, with all this shit and with the shit that's going on or whatever, you could have.
Fans are so fucking fickle. Like, as soon as you put the belt on Seth, you want him to lose it.
I'm not a
fan. No, he said it. No, man, like, he said it.
He's the hardest working, most over person, which he was.
Who should have been champ then?
Someone else, because it feels like he was just given the belt because he's been complaining too much.
But who's more deserving than him?
Is he really deserving? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of his character to begin with. I'm not a fan of his character to begin with. Like, him coming out in Crocs and fishnet stockings is not world champion material to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
but hold on. Who should have been champion? That's all I want to know. Who should have
deserved it more than Seth? No, we say in a company. Who deserves it more than Seth?
Why did he deserve it more?
Because he's over. He works hard. He's super over with the fans.
They could have.
Whether good or bad, heel or babyface, the crowd works with. Maybe Cody. Yeah, Cody's the only other person, of course. But
could have gave it to Cody.
We know where Cody's
going.
Give
it to Damian Priest. Give it to Damian. Do something different. Give it to Damian Priest.
Eventually,
I'm gonna tell you. Because I feel like
I like how they're building up Damian Priest. I don't think he should have it right now.
I'm gonna say I don't like. Wait a minute. I'm gonna say why.
45. When should he have it?
I'm going to say. Wait a minute.
Close to retirement.
This is what
I'll give you that.
This is why I'm gonna say why I don't agree with what happened. If Seth was going to beat Nakamura last night, especially in the type of match it was the last man standing, Damian Priest should have cashed in. I'm sorry. I mean, can't nobody tell me. Can't nobody tell me. But that's the problem. But the problem is, you about to. If this CM Punk stuff is true, you about to have an abundance of motherfuckers who are in the world title picture, and it makes no fucking sense.
It doesn't.
Especially with you got the main champion who isn't there. I don't know. I didn't think they were gonna do this at first, but I think they're trying to have this nigga beat fucking Hogan, like possibly get the San Martino.
Yeah.
And then he has to do it.
I think if The Rock is not, willing to go to WrestleMania next year, I absolutely can see them putting
listen,
and they'll just give Cody Seth's belt for compensation.
So I'm
and
saying,
look
at the people
wrestle Seth at WrestleMania. That's the plans now.
Between the two main champions, between the two main champions, these are the world title picture people. So you got Seth and Roman. You're gonna add you got Cody, who's, even though he's a tag team champ, he's really in the picture. You got Cena, you got LA Knight, you got goddamn.
I don't think Cena.
I don't think you really have Cena.
No.
Cena's.
Cena.
You're gonna have.
He's Ric Flair now.
You're gonna have a bunch of matches with.
They're
career. Talking about possibly making him and Roman at Crown Jewel again.
But the thing is,
that's Crown Jewel.
It's Crown Jewels. That's a bizarre world. That shit don't count.
They just do whoever's going
Cena
to sell.
said at the press conference, because someone asked Cena, like, if the actor strike is over, is he going back? And he's like, yeah, I'm out.
He said, yeah. He did say, yeah. So they don't really have Cena.
Yeah, their plans are week to week with him, because
Well, fuck, whatever. Apparently, they say Gunther is in the goddamn is possibly a WrestleMania winner.
I would have given him. I would have given the belt to Gunther. Fuck it, make him IC and world champ at the same time. Make him dominant. Like I would have loved that.
I just think that WWE right now they are in a situation where they're about to be super top heavy, and they're not going to know what the fuck to do with all these goddamn top heavy ass people. Simple as that. It's like it's
been top heavy before, though. I mean, the Attitude Era.
I mean,
they were able to juggle people around.
Them not having enough main event people.
There you go. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So I mean, they have it now.
If we do get it, but the only thing about it is they, like you said, they're not going to know what to do with it. They're
right. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a story. Even in the Attitude Era, when you had Taker, Austin, Foley, Rock, goddamn Triple H, you had all these
DX.
people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. It was a story behind how this shit happened.
So it can happen. It's just WWE still have it in them to have creative for all that, and they probably don't.
That is the $1 million question. How much faith do y'all have in WWE?
None.
Exactly.
None. They can. It's and maybe if AEW becomes more of a threat, maybe and they're doing $1 million a week or something like that. Yeah. They'll hire better writers maybe and put like a level of effort into the product, but for now they don't have to.
Do y'all think CM Punk is going back? Do y'all think he's going back?
I think he's definitely going back. The WWE's planting little seeds.
He's a narcissist not to come back.
Right. Yeah. And Vince McMahon is too much of a money-hungry bastard, even though
I love Jason. Jason still is like Vince is in charge. Jason is where you.
He is.
I think he is. I don't think he's in charge like he was for the last 30 years, but he's still in the room. He still has influence. And at the bottom, like the main event, like I think he has his hand in the major things in WWE. I could be wrong. I don't know, but whoever, I don't, whether Triple H will do business with anybody, I think as well. He's probably less willing, but I think CM Punk is still. I think he's going to be at WrestleMania. I think he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. He ain't going to win, but he's going to challenge Seth. You might cost Seth his belt, and that the promos between those two will be.
Yeah, they said either
a main event.
They said either Survivor Series or they said the Royal Rumble might be a better way to bring him back because of him showing up at the Rumble would be like.
It would be shot. It would be like the world.
Because you're like, well, damn, if he ain't show up at Survivor Series in Chicago, then maybe he ain't coming back.
Yeah,
so maybe we'll get that surprise factor.
You might have an AJ Styles type, John Cena-esque.
He'll come back.
Pop. You might. I don't know. It depends on the crowd.
He'll come back and then be
I mean, because Cody was getting booed out of the building. So
but that's the thing. If he comes back at the Rumble, does he win it?
Like, he has
to. God,
he has to. He has to win it.
No.
You don't bring him back.
Time out. I'm gonna say this. D'Lo has a point, and you know what D'Lo, and you know what's one of the main points on why he's never main evented WrestleMania, and that was his biggest gripe. He never main evented WrestleMania.
And if Cody could do it,
And that was his
Royal Rumble.
And that was his biggest gripe, that he never main evented WrestleMania. And that's where, and then too, apparently it was a beef between him and Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens had made that fact, like, oh, you talked all this shit about me, about, wrestling in a t-shirt and this and that. But like, well, I did something 2 times, your ass ain't fucking done. And that's main event WrestleMania 2 years in a row. And you ain't even done that shit once.
And we're also working with the most petty company in the world. What bigger, FU AEW than to have not only, you could have WrestleMania where you have Cody, you have Cargill, and you have CM Punk.
And you know what?
Throwing Warlow for shits and giggles.
And you know what, too? CM Punk still has a copy of the belt.
Can you imagine if he comes to SummerSlam Survivor Series with that fucking belt?
I wouldn't be surprised if he threw that shit. They had him come in that shit and throw that shit in the trash. Some this ain't mean nothing.
If he does that, like that's what I'm just talking about earlier about the optics. I'm talking about the optics of like AEW right now struggling because all these people are rumored to be leaving. Jay Cargill's there now. Cody got there first. CM Punk maybe. Wardlow maybe. Ricky Starks maybe. On the flip side, MJF maybe. On the flip side.
Where Dax Hardwood, he put the CMFPR. He bought the copyright for that and shit. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. But once again, my question goes back to how much trust do you have in WWE to know what to fucking do with this? The only thing WWE. The only thing I appreciate that WWE
stumble on
did,
greatness.
The only thing I appreciate WWE did yesterday
or steal it from
was the fact that they were able to that Michael Cole actually made reference to another fucking group outside of WWE. That nigga said the Bullet Club yesterday. I said, oh, what the fuck? Did he just? I couldn't believe he said. First of all, he was wrong as shit.
He was wrong because Cody Rhodes was never.
Cody Rhodes was not.
But whatever. We'll give him an A for effort.
We'll give him an A for effort. But the fact that he even came out his mouth and said hey, these are 2 former members of the Bullet Club. I was like, holy shit!
They let Michael Cole have some better discretion of like what he said, so which is
man, because
product,
Vince is normally in his ear. Vince like, the fuck did you just goddamn say? Saying some shit like that.
And Michael Cole is unleashed, as we all know, because he's actually entertaining. We love him.
And then too, he's in charge of all on-air announcers. He has a position that Jim.
He's the GOAT right now.
He has the position that Jim Ross had. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So he's because I guess he's the most senior person or whatever. So
yeah, he deserves it. Yeah, he should have it. All right, man. You feisty motherfuckers. All right. Well,
D'Lo fucking took a week off and came back fucking on fire.
Fire. He's the main event tag team wrestler, man. He's
main event.
AEW.
I'm not calling that dude main event Jey Uso if he keeps winning tag team championships. Come on now. Like main event of Sunday Night Heat. That's what he is.
Velocity Uso.
Fucking wrestling challenge and superstars and
oh my god.
He's still better than Jimmy.
Come on, man. In his heart.
Primetime wrestling.
I think he's better than Jimmy now.
Speaking of superstars or whatever, WWE's like the fact that too you had Jade Cargill make a daggone appearance last night at the pay-per-view Saturday night. And then too, she's keeping her fucking name. What the fuck? Like yo, like I said, are they finding?
I don't know how.
I said, is WWE? Well, I'm not.
Well, you can't copyright your name. You can have your. Yeah, that's a real name, right? Like,
I don't know.
There's a rumor that Jade's getting paid like about $2 million a year. So I don't know if PK didn't want to go that high. That's what I'm saying. Do you pay $2 million a year for Jay Cargill? Or do you pay $2 million a year for Sasha Banks? Like, you can't pay both.
Also, too,
the answer is you pay both.
She did audition to be in WWE, I think, back in
the day,
08, 09 or whatever. And they was like, we like you, but you need some more work. And they think
we already have Bianca Belair. We already have a strong black girl.
And then she did an interview and she said that her dream was always to be in WWE. I don't think it was nothing where AEW dropping the ball. I think it was just a thing of of her being like, listen, thank y'all for making me thank y'all for helping me get to where I am, but
I think she knows. Because she said little things.
She's going out of her way. She's going out of her way to be just disrespectful, in my opinion. Because
really,
AEW gave her.
You really?
I don't think she's being disrespectful.
No, because every time I see her, it's a clip. Oh, this is where I always wanted to be. Oh, this is my dream. It's just always shit like that. It's like, yo, just chill, man.
Do
like,
you?
I don't think
do what you got to do and stop saying all that shit.
But I don't think
exactly.
But honestly, that's her character.
Time out.
She's been like that. She was like that in AEW.
I wouldn't say that's disrespectful. I'm like, you think about it. Most of these people that's getting into the business now, whatever, they probably became fans of WWE. The late part of the new generation starting.
She was a big fan. She was a big fan of China.
Of China, right? So you gotta. I don't think it's being disrespectful. I think it's them being like, yo, WWE is like the fucking. It's like niggas that play basketball. It's like niggas that play. I put like this. It's niggas that play in college play basketball. They want to go to the NBA. They don't want to go to the fucking Euro. They don't want to go to the Euro.
But she wouldn't have gotten $2 million a year if it wasn't for AEW, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. And you can
I think WWE's being smart by not ignoring that she has history.
You can say it once, you know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, this was my dream. But every time you get somebody talking to you, you got to keep saying it over and over again. It's like, yo, okay, we get it.
That's interviewing though, man. That's different publications going to interview you.
And that's social media 101. Like, that's her persona online.
I'm telling you,
like, I'm that bitch. Like,
that's just like when people. I'm gonna tell you, Bunch. This is like when niggas do like these press tours or whatever, and like for example, I'll give you an example. Like that time, I think I told you guys that when I was working for Sinclair, I did a fucking interview. I got to moderate an interview between the Briscoe brothers, and it was like a match where it was gonna be Jey versus. They was in a fucking room all day taking questions and getting asked the same question over and over again, and they was asking, and they were answering them the same way, like, yeah, me and my brother gonna do this. This is just a big deal, with RRH, anniversary show. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think the
WWE's. I think she's just going through the press junket and doing.
Yeah, I don't think it's being disrespectful.
PR
I just think it's like I think most wrestlers. You can't tell me. I don't think most wrestlers are all going to be like. It was a dream of them being WWE. I don't think it's disrespectful. It's just them saying, hey, I want to be in the WWE. I want to be able to make
Nobody had a dream of being AEW because it just became a reality 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
But don't just be like nonchalant, like this company ain't. That's the company that gave you your shot because WWE passed on your ass from the beginning. And then this company came and made you a star. And now that this company made you a star. Now the WWE is like, oh yeah, we want you now. Like, come on, man, miss me with that shit.
Because I think Jey even said she like bigged up the women's AEW rock because she was like, I really wanted to. She's like, we have some amazing talent. She was lying on the AEW side for women, and she was like, on the main event side, she was like, I never got to wrestle them. I always wanted to wrestle them. So she was like,
that's where I agree with her. That's Tony Khan's fault. Like. I would have wanted to see Jay Cargill versus Britt Baker. I would have wanted to see Jay Cargill versus Jamie Hayter. Why wasn't that
Storm?
Tony Storm. Like, why did they keep them separate? Because I don't know. That shit don't make sense.
I think they dropped the ball on that because they could have had a situation where she was the TBS champ, challenged the women's champ, won them both, and just dropped the TBS title. They could have had a tournament for the women's, for the TBS title again, whatever. Right. But they could have did anything other than just let her have that streak and then just let her pretty much fade away until
who do they really have now other than Tony Storm and Shivrea, who's kind of
Britt Baker's still there, man. Don't be disrespectful.
I mean, they might be bringing Sasha Banks. So
Britt Baker's.
They need to. They do.
And I think Thunder Rosa's.
Britt Baker is not a great wrestler though.
What?
Not that Britt Baker is not a good wrestler.
She's not great, but she can wrestle.
I'll put it like this: AEW women's roster possibly is better than WWE's top to bottom.
I appreciate that. They don't have the 4 horsewomen minus one. I'm gonna put Asuka in that slot with Sasha. They don't have.
Hold on, it's minus one.
It ain't got nothing to do with the 4 horsewomen.
It has everything to do with them. They have.
No, we don't. All we do is to see the same people for the WWE women's division each week, man. It's the same one.
I hate to say this because I know the women work hard.
Look,
except
give
with
me
the exception of the
Nyla Rose over
AEW
Nia
champion,
Jax any day. Give me Nyla Rose over Nia Jax any day. Surprise, bitch.
Where is she at? I mean, like
she wrestled on Rampage. Her and the chick that wears no shoes, Marina Shafir or whatever her name is.
Oh my! See,
that's Roddy. That's Roddy's wife. You do know who Marina Shafir is?
Marina.
That's the chick. That's the chick that was rolling with Ronda and she was one of the MMA,
yeah,
when they was doing the MMA things. Yeah, that's Marina.
And that's it's just so many things.
That's Roddy's wife.
Yeah, that's Roddy's wife.
I didn't realize that.
Wow, that's why that's
Roddy's wife.
Strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's neck strong too.
Well, that's really why his neck is hurting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to you next week.
It's the Hard On Wrestling Podcast.
He went to go down on her. She put him in the meanest head scissors.
Me and Jason are doing a double out. We just did a double
Bunch,
out.
go fuck yourself.
He was calling for Adam when she put